Hi, this is Louis, developer for the Garden Path. I've been hard at work on 1.4, which is the Garden Path's biggest update yet. I wanted to go over some of the major changes and the design decisions behind them. Where previous updates have given experienced players more to unpack and come back to, the focus of this update was to revisit some core mechanics, provide some quality of life changes, and act on the long-standing feedback I've received from you over the years. The Garden Path is about taking your time and setting your own goals. However, I know some players wanted a little extra guidance to get them started. In this new update, each new day you'll now be greeted by different pursuit cards to choose from. These are optional objectives that will be available based on who's visiting your garden, your encyclopedia progress, and the tasks or stars that you have tracked. Once selected, the pursuit you've chosen for the day will give you a small boost as you work towards its objective. For example, the going fishing pursuit means fish will appear sooner, whereas enchanted waters will make the fish you've not yet discovered more likely to appear. Those familiar with the Garden Path will know that small fireflies will sometimes softly suggest where to go or what to do next. These were designed to be unobtrusive, but they can be too easy to miss. For those who want clearer directions, tasks can be chosen as a pursuit instead of a pursuit card, which, for most tasks, will give a much stronger helping hand as you work towards it. Of course, all pursuits are completely optional if you'd rather spend your time in the garden with no particular goal in mind. Tones have been given a major overhaul. These are seasonal points used in exchange for different harvestables from plants throughout the garden. Instead of the large permanent pool of previous patches, you now carry with you up to 4 tones, all of which influence the season you're attuned to. Some items will require these collectible tones, whereas others simply need you to be attuned to their season. You can reset your attunement by collecting fresh water at the community centre at a new freshwater barrel. The cost for harvestables has seen a full rebalance to work in tandem with the new system. Most of the guesswork has been removed, as now you're guaranteed to harvest what you can afford. Rarer items require harder combinations of tones, so you'll need a little bit of forward planning. Tea now works differently too. Depending on the ingredients you brew, each sip of tea will lock in those tones for a short period of time, so you can harvest as much as you want before the timer runs out. Equipment works much the same, generating tones depending on how you play. You'll now need to pay more attention to how well dressed you are for the weather, however, as being too hot or too cold will now slow the rate of your equipment recharges. Of course, certain songfish and constellations can be used to influence your attunement too. In previous patches it was easy to accrue a large number of tones, making seasons and tea less important. I'm hoping these changes will make the game feel more seasonal and tea more rewarding regardless of how much time you've spent in the garden. As the community centre has grown since the game's launch, it's becoming more and more important to return to it each day to fill orders, manage allotments, projects and compost, but sometimes this can mean a long walk back to the Northern Gardens. In the latest patch, community stations can now be unlocked by completing orders at the pigeonholes. You can customise your community kit to include 2 stations you would find the most useful, extending the amenities of the community centre to anywhere in your garden. In addition to everything you would find at the community centre, you can also select Buttercup's burrows dug by our very own Buttercup. Similar to the mole burrows that spawn randomly each day, with 2 Buttercup burrows you can set up a permanent shortcut between 2 points in your garden. Up to 3 community kits can be unlocked. This is a quality of life change that gives greater reward for completing orders and more customisation when designing your garden. Also in this update, you'll now find a curious gap in the wall at the very far south of the garden. Slipping through will lead you to a brand new garden, a fresh start for those willing to leave everything behind. Unlike starting a new game, venturing into a new garden lets you keep your gardener, achievements, relationships, and the residents of your garden. Maybe you're returning to the Garden Path after a long break and fancy a clean slate without losing your progress. Or maybe you're starting a new game and the layout of the garden you've stumbled upon just doesn't take your fancy. Either way, it's a long walk, so make sure you have everything with you. Finally, Lato is the next in the Garden Path's cast to have his own story objectives. As you go fishing, there's a chance you might stumble upon an unusual fish made of wood. Deliver this to Lato to begin a series of missions to help Lato reconnect with his past. This is a storyline that's been worked on all the way back since 2022, so I'm thrilled to have it finally in the game. The Garden Path is approaching its 2nd anniversary, and this last year I've been hard at work improving and expanding the game as I have since launch. In the last 12 months, the garden path has seen allotments to create spaces for your residents to grow their own small gardens, a new summer show to invite your residents to perform in, dyeable clothing, a dozen new hairstyles, new characters, furnishings, fixes and performance improvements, and plenty more. But the changes from the new update will be arriving soon, so I hope to see you back in the garden, and if you're trying the garden path for the first time, you should find a smoother experience getting you started. Thanks for all your support and feedback over the years, and happy gardening.